Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's having a great start to their morning. It is my last day in Jamaica. I've had an incredible experience here in Jamaica. I've gone to several different properties with the Sandals company, Sandals and Beaches Resorts, and it has been simply incredible. I originally started out in Ocho Rios, which was simply beautiful. The beautiful thing about Jamaica is there are so many parts of the country. Like sometimes when you think about going to the Caribbean, it's more or less like, okay, I'm going to the beach or I'm going just to a pool or whatever. But this particular experience allowed me to see so many different parts of the country itself. Ocho Rios is known as more or less the mountains or the hillside. So on that side, although there is a beach, that's not the main focus. The main focus is the lush gardens, the tropical views, and all the likes. And so depending on what type of experience that you want, for some people, they like that. They don't need to be actually on a long stretch of beach. As long as they can put their feet in the sand, they're good with that. But having that exclusivity, the hillside experience, it may be more or less based upon budget. All of those type of things would be a great opportunity for people who want to experience Jamaica. Ocho Rios is that place. The great thing about Ocho Rios also is Ocho Rios has its own airport. So although I flew into Montego Bay, which of course is their main, I won't say their main, but one of their bigger airports, Ocho Rios actually that airport is closer to that particular resort. So it did take me a while to get from Montego Bay over to Ocho Rios. However, they do have an airport in Ocho Rios, which is quite convenient, 20 to 30 minutes at the most. So I would highly recommend, people who are like, I want to experience Jamaica. I want to go to a Sandals resort, but I am kind of maybe on a tighter budget, or I'm not really a beach person, but I want to experience a tropical, vibe. That is the place to go. So once we left Ocho Rios, and thank you all for joining in, and you could come back and do a replay so you can hear the whole thing from the beginning. From there, we went to Sandals Ocho Rios. The vibe is very lively. It's a lot of excitement. It's a mixed crowd. They have the nightlife. They have the beach. They have the big pool. A lot of the advertisements that you see for Sandals, they use the photo from that particular location because the pool is massive with the sandals at the bottom. It's absolutely beautiful. So that was Ocho Rios. What they call Sandals Ochi. The great thing about that property is there are 3 sections to that property. It is massive. It sits on over 100 acres of land. So as far as experience is concerned, you can pretty much like spend your whole vacation going from section to section to section. And the great thing about it is you're not going to have to walk. They have an actual bus, like a bus that is for that property called the Hop, that takes you from place to place to place to place. It is amazing. Of course, they have the spas, they have the restaurants. And the great thing about Sandals, y'all already know, everything is included. Tips, gratuity, food, drinks, everything is included. So when they say all-inclusive, they mean all-inclusive. So that was Sandals Ocho Rios. Then I traveled over to Sandals Royal Plantation. Sandals Royal Plantation is a little bit different. It is definitely one of the smaller properties of Sandals, but it is a more intimate, very personalized experience. Very intimate experience. What do you mean by that, Mattia? Every room is a suite and every room comes with a butler. Talking about experience, okay? It is one of those things that if you are there to be pampered to the fullest, that is the place to go. It is definitely giving you that, I don't want to say old world, but like that antique with the dark wood and the teak wood. Like it is definitely that, the antiques and all that is the place that you would go if that's the vibe you're looking for. Not a lot of nightlife. It is not that place. It is definitely the place where you're like, I want to go and just be pampered. I want it to be all about me. that's the place to go. The great thing about Sandals Royal Plantation is with Sandals Royal Plantation, you can go to all the different, I want to say all, the other Sandals resorts in Ocho Rios. So you can go over to Sandals Ochi if you're like, you know what, I want an evening out where I'm doing all the things. You can definitely go over there. The other resort that we went to is Sandals Dunn's River, which is one of their newer properties. Now that to me is more of my vibe. Like, I like a very lively property, not too much. I don't need a whole lot. A lively property, a newer, a more modern look. That is what Sandals Dunn's River will give you. I fell in love with Sandals Dunn's River. It was one of my favorites. And all three of those properties are in Ocho Rios. So from there, we migrated over to, which was literally like an all-day process because this country is huge. Like, sometimes when you think about Caribbean islands or Caribbean areas, you're like, oh, you know, the country or the island is only a few miles. It only take you. No, literally, we were on the bus a good little minute because we went from Ocho Rios through Montego Bay and came over to Negril, and that's where we ended our trip, was in Negril. And so we've been in Negril for the rest of the time, and it has been amazing. What is Negril known for? I'm so glad you asked. Negril is known for their 7 Mile beach. When I say this white sand beach is beautiful, it is absolutely beautiful. Like, I looked out the window and I said to myself, this is where it's at. Like, I really thought that I loved Ochi and I loved Dunn's River, but when I came over to Negril, I was like, oh, now this is it for me. And again, the thing about having a travel advisor on your team and working with you is we have firsthand knowledge of what it looks like, what it feels like, the type of experience, the type of vibe, you know, and we can personalize that based upon the experience that you have and us knowing you as a client. So I definitely would, of course, suggest that you get with a travel advisor. So we came over here we stayed at Sandals Beaches, which is amazing. And the reason that it's amazing because this is also one of the Sandals properties, and Beaches is the family all-inclusive. Okay, so meaning that your entire family can travel with you, multiple generations. There's a room here that we looked at yesterday. It is a 3-bedroom suite. Can you get into that? Now, some people may be saying like, oh, I could never stay with that many people in one space. It was huge. The layout was incredible. It slept up to 18 people. And again, right here, literally you walk on your balcony and you are looking at the beach. That's the other thing. Like, sometimes you'll go places and you'll look at the way that they describe. There is a ocean front. There is a ocean view. That is a difference. Ocean view mean that at any point you walk out your balcony or off your patio or whatever, you could see a view of the water. Now, how close it is relative, because it literally could be this much of your balcony where you could see through the trees, could be ocean view. Then there's an ocean front. This particular property in Negril literally sits on the beach. And so when I walked out of my room, I walked steps onto the beach. That's the difference. A little nugget for you. So we're here, family friendly, family oriented. They had the cutest Sesame Street entertainment show. It was so cute. I absolutely love that. And they've had great entertainment over here. They have a frozen yogurt place. They have an ice cream place. They have a coffee shop. They have a jerk shack. They have an Italian restaurant. They have hibachi. They have a sushi place. Like, it is something for everybody. On top of the fact that, of course, they have all of the amenities for children exclusively. You can even hire a nanny to be with you here at Beaches Resort. The last resort that we did look at was Sandals Negril, and I'm coming back. Let's just say that. I am definitely coming back. So I cannot wait to book my own personal vacation, as well as I want you all to be on the lookout, because I'm thinking that I may put together, if I get enough interest, I'll put together a couples trip for a few friends, a few people, both family, to come over to Sandals and experience the adult only Sandals resorts. Yes, you heard that right. So I wanted to come on because, like I said, this is my last day here, my last sunrise in paradise. Whew. And also, just to let you all know, a lot of people, when I initially was coming over here, they were asking like, oh, you're going to Jamaica. I didn't know Jamaica was open. Yes, it's open. It is open. It is open. It is open. So it is open. They are ready to welcome people here. I will say that Sandals is one of the only properties, I won't say only, but one of the, not all resorts are open. Let me say that because of the hurricane. Sandals is one. And when I tell you you wouldn't even know that a hurricane came through here. Not on these resorts. Everything is back intact like nothing ever happened. So if you are ready to come back to Jamaica, if you're like, Jamaica is my home, I love me some Jamaica, this is the place to be. So if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'll be happy to answer those questions and serve you in any way.